Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Chike, you holding down movie reviews solo? I'll try to help you out though. What you got for
us? So first of all, I want to shout out one of Stephen Knight Show's avid followers, the Real Neon, always shouting us out, always following. We appreciate the support, brother. Continue. More power to you. So yeah, I saw one movie, 2 series. And here we go. Mosquito State is the film that I saw. It's streaming now on the Shudder app. Shudder does specifically horror films. Again, this is October, Halloween month. So in the spirit of Halloween, I'm checking out all these horror films. Mosquito State stars Bo Knapp, Charlotte Vega, Oliver Martinez, and Jack Casey. You know Jack Casey from Claws with Niecy Nash. He plays Roller. This movie was a little difficult for me in the sense of trying to understand it and unpack it. So basically, it deals with a very gifted analyst who created this algorithm platform for buying and trading stocks. And the Jack Casey character basically is trying to juke the stock market by doing major buying and major selling when he's not supposed to, and he's throwing the algorithms off so that the main character can understand the flow to get maximum achievement out of his creation. And so I didn't mention that he's on the spectrum. They kind of allude to it. They don't talk about it, but you can kind of tell by his mannerisms and how he has the repetitive the personality, and things that people that have autism do. He's pretty much, he reminds me of Ben Affleck in the movie The Accountant a little bit. And he's a genius. And so when people that are on the autistic spectrum, some of them, how they act out is when they don't have their routine down or their routine gets interrupted. Yeah. So basically his routine is interrupted and he starts acting out. How he acts out is he has to be able to control something. The thing that he gets control of is breeding mosquitoes. Of all things, he decides to start breeding mosquitoes. And he breeds this swarm of mosquitoes that basically takes over his apartment. And so he's getting bit up left and right because he's feeding them. And they're just living in his apartment. Very weird. Very abstract movie. After I watched it, I was like, what the hell did I just watch? Very artsy. It won some awards. I'm not gonna say that you should check it out, but it's there on Shudder if you wanna. I just came across it because I do like weird films. I like going down rabbit holes sometimes, and this was a rabbit hole that I can never come back out of. It's something I absorbed, and it's like, why did I do that? Okay. So one of the series that I watched is called American Rust, and it's on the Showtime network or app. In my case, I have a Fire Stick, so it's the app. Some people have cable, so it's the network. American Rust stars Jeff Daniels, Maura Tierney, and Bill Camp, and Julia Mayorga. And it basically follows 5 storylines in a small fictitious town called Buell, Pennsylvania. And there's a murder, there's an affair, there's undercover cops, there's drug dealers, there's drug addicts, there's a runaway, there's, wow, what else is going on? There's a labor situation happening. There's a whole lot going on in this show. And I will say it's very well acted, very well written, and it keeps me riveted. So definitely check that out. Again, it's called American Rust. It's a good story. And I think it's on the 6th episode. It's something that you could really get into. It's a great story. Check it out. Okay. And lastly, Succession is back. 3rd season, HBO. If you don't know anything about Succession, it's about this Fortune 500 company, but the company is ran by a family. With the dad, the patriarch, being the CEO of the company, and he's ruthless. Kind of reminds me of back in the day, this show called Dallas with JR used to run the oil company, and how ruthless he was, getting people knocked off and taking over other companies, and he didn't care who he hurt. This is kind of sort of like that.
Mm.
But season 2 ended with father against son. Season 3 picked up the same exact way. And this stars Brian Cox and Macaulay Culkin's younger brother, Kieran Culkin, Sarah Snook, and Jeremy Strong. And then in walks Sanaa Lathan, my crush. She joins the cast this season. She is a high-powered lawyer who's there to broker the son's takeover from the father. And I'm going to leave it there because I was on the edge of my seat last night, and it wasn't a cliffhanging episode. This was the first episode of the new season, and they had me glued to the TV like it was the last episode of the last season.
Mm.
Check it out. It's called Succession. It's very good. I mean, it's so good. Like, you need to go back to the beginning and watch it, because after every episode, you're like, what the hell is going on with this family?
Right.
Sons and daughters and brothers and sisters, and they don't care about each other. For real, for real. They care about that dollar bill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Stephen, the last thing that I want to talk about is this Hollywood strike.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood is talking about turning the lights off and tucking the cameras away and saying goodnight. I don't know. It's a tentative pause on it right now.
Yeah.
Next week, they're going to revisit and they're going to see if they're going to strike. I don't know what that looks like.
Well, all of our shows will be production shut down.
Well, the shows that we're watching right now, we should be good to finish out at least the season with the shows that we have now. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know how far the strike goes, in the sense of, like, some of our favorite shows, they're already filmed. Mm-hmm. Like, let's take Insecure, for example. Insecure is coming up. Right. Insecure is already done. It's locked in the bag. But the person that pushes play at HBO to allow it to stream, are they going on strike too? Mm-hmm. Probably.
Yeah, they said
we won't be able to absorb it.
The lower end people, they're just asking for better benefits. They're asking for time off.
So this came about because some of the, those productions that were filming during coronavirus, they had constraints in place. Mm-hmm. And those constraints have been relaxed. And since they've been relaxed, the figureheads have been pushing harder to move forward. And so production has picked up. And so they're working like dogs. Mm-hmm. And they want more money for it. And I can't blame them for that.
Nope. Not at all.
However, if Hollywood doesn't want to pay, what does that look like for us? And technically, I learned today that some of your news outlets, those people are a part of that wheel. Mm. So the camera people, the production assistants, the producers, some of the newscasts themselves are SAG-AFTRA members because they do other things besides just the news. And they have to be members of SAG. And if the union strikes, are we not going to see some of our anchor people on TV? Like, this gets crazy. Yeah. There'll be no commercials. There won't be anything. We'll just have a black box in our living rooms.
Hopefully they can work it out.
I hope so too, because I need, I won't have a job, y'all. So, I won't have a job here.
Right. No, seriously. But no, I wanted to highlight some shows I'm watching. Impeachment: American Crime Story. It comes on FX. And it follows the impeachment of Bill Clinton when he had his affair with Monica Lewinsky. Monica Lewinsky is part of the project. So the guy who's directing, I can't think of his name, but he came to her. He didn't give her creative control, but he let her tell her side of the story. And even parts that she didn't want to revisit, she said since it's part of the story, okay. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But it's really, really good. It is
I
really
did not have sex with that woman.
right. And the thing is, he didn't, but he got other stuff. But right now so if you know anything about the story, I'm sure you do. You know, Linda Tripp, um,
Yes.
befriended Monica Lewinsky, and Monica,
Hmm.
would tell her about the affair.
Hmm.
And Linda was trying to get this book deal, so she started recording their conversation. She has like 11 tapes of conversations, and so they were both subpoenaed about the Paula Jones case. And Monica was like, she would never tell about Bill because she really, as much as he hurt her, she loved him, right?
Hmm.
And she said he was a really nice guy. He just was always busy with work, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
And so he wouldn't see her for long periods of time. And so the FBI comes, comes out that Linda Tripp has these tapes because there were
Hmm.
other people, politics trying to bring down Bill Clinton. And so she wears a wire and goes to have lunch, meet with Monica Lewinsky, and they're just trying to get her to say two things: that she got a job based on her relationship with Bill Clinton, and
Hmm.
that it was something else. Oh, that they had, I guess, whatever affair. And Monica was a little by some of the questioning, you know what I mean, when they were talking, like even at one point, and some of it's Hollywood, some of it was added, I'm sure. At some point, Linda Tripp goes to the bathroom because her mic falls down in her shirt. So she goes to the bathroom, they're setting up, and Monica goes through her purse to make sure she's not being recorded. And so
Mm.
anyway, we're at the part now where the FBI, Linda Tripp sets to meet her up at the mall. They always met at the mall, and she comes with FBI agents. And they pretty much try to coerce her into calling Bill Clinton and setting him up, him and his
Yeah.
assistant.
Yeah.
And so the good thing though, her mom came. Her mom flew in from New York, drove in. She didn't fly. She drove, and so Monica made them wait 8 hours. The mom drove in New York, and the mom had told her dad, even though they're divorced, she told him what was going on. He has this family attorney he's had forever, and he calls Monica Lewinsky. And at first he's talking to the people, he's cussing them out. And they're like, why are you talking to us like that? You know what I mean? And then he said, put Monica back on the phone. He said, Monica, this is not going to be easy. I want you to do this. Get your mom, put on your coat, and leave.
Mm.
He said, they said that she said they wanted to lock you up, they would have been doing it. Get your mom, your keys, and go. And so that's where it ends. And Monica's back at her mom. Well, they're at Monica's place, and she's in the shower, contemplating suicide.
Mm.
She has
That poor
pills,
lady.
but she's just crying, and her mom's sitting on the floor crying. But that Linda Tripp, I mean, and may she rest in peace. She recently passed away of pancreatic cancer. But when they were in the hotel room initially, Melinda's in the other room, and she's in the room with the agents, and they're asking these questions, and she's thinking, "What?" She said, "Linda." Oh, because they played her the tape. Linda, what did you
Yeah,
do?
because she's the reason why they found the dress.
Yeah. Well, she told Monica, save that dress.
Yeah.
Because Monica was just telling about flippantly. Because
Yeah.
she didn't even notice it was on her dress till she saw it later on. And she said she's gonna get it clean. And Linda was like, you might need that. She said, need it for what?
She
So
was plotting the whole time.
she put the dress in a bag and hid it in her mom's house. Her mom didn't know obviously it was there, but that's where she had the dress.
That's crazy. And I think that dress is in some type of museum now. It's somewhere.
That Linda, I mean, I don't know how she. And you could tell the woman who plays Linda Tripp. I wish I knew these actresses' names. I mean, she looks just like Linda Tripp, and you know her from other shows. She does an amazing job, and just
I'm gonna have to
imagine,
watch
like I
this.
would assume Linda Tripp was like in her 50s. Monica Lewinsky's 23.
Yeah.
You're interested in this woman. This woman is setting you up the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but it's really good. So watch that. And then there's a new show called Our People or something. Our People. It's on Fox. It's new. It's maybe the third episode now. What's his name from Best Man? Dark skin guy.
Morris Chestnut?
He's in there. He's one of the
Okay.
star. And this other woman, I can't think of her name, but you've seen her before. She's in there, and then the Yaya girl from America's Top Model, the one played with Houston.
Yaya DaCosta.
She's the main character. And pretty much what happens is she moves back to her hometown where her mother used to live. Her mother has since passed away, and she finds out she didn't know her dad growing up. She knew him as a little girl, but he left the mom, and turns out that he was married to this other woman and had a daughter, but the mom was his wife was she's in a home now, and he had an affair and had Yaya. And he's mega rich. They own these companies or whatever. And so Yaya's trying to get in with that family to get leverage on her business because she has this hairline and all this stuff. She's trying to get but they've put two and two together and figure out who she is. And so the beef between her and her sister now. Because but it's really, really good. There's so much drama, but it's really, really good. And I watched it because it was black. But last thing, Wonder Years. I was a little hesitant about this. I used to watch it as a kid. But now it's an all black cast. It is an amazing show.
Really? Okay.
I watch it. I just recorded just to give it ratings, but I watch it. It's good. It's good. A lot of great shows.
What would you do if I sang out of tune?
And they actually had one of the original characters come on the show last week.
Really?
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, anything coming on the pipeline? Anything else?
I still didn't see Halloween yet, and there's something that popped up on HBO that I want to see. I love my documentaries. What happened to Brittany Murphy? I want to watch that. I used to like Brittany Murphy. I liked her, and I always wonder, because she just you kind of heard that she wasn't doing too well. Then you heard she had anorexia, and then next thing you knew, she was dead. You never really got an answer as to what happened to her. So I want to watch that. And I'll just be on the lookout for some stuff. I don't.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for letting us know what to spend our time and money on and what not to. And have a great week.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have a job next week to come back and talk about something. That's not funny. Just joking.
We'll be right back after this.